I've often repeated that the goal of discovery is to understand if the buyer has a problem or problems that we can help with, and what are the consequences or impacts of fixing those problems or not fixing those problems. That's the focus. So I want to show you how you can use AI to check what you did in your meeting, but also document it properly and recap it efficiently for your buyer. So let me jump into, so going over to ChatGPT, again, you'll probably need a paid subscription for this. So jumping over to ChatGPT, you'll likely need a paid subscription of the AI you're using. I'm using, again, ChatGPT. What I did here was paste in a transcript of a rep I'm working with's discovery call. It was a good call. But what I started with is I said to the AI, using this call transcript, please provide information for me to put into the attached template. So let me show you what that template looks like. The template is a typical note or recap of a good meeting. Also is going to mirror what are in the fields of a good CRM with an opportunity process. So client name is here, some basic information about the customer, a summary, and then here's my focus, right? That I repeat again and again. What's the problem and impact to their business of not fixing something, right? So problems, again, this is a template. And then a lot of clients I work with are using MEDDICC or MEDDICC qualification. So I've included these categories here as well. And then a mutual action plan. It doesn't always come out of a discovery call, but sometimes it does. And a mutual action plan, or what are you agreeing with the customer, or all the next steps to get to action. Again, this is assuming that we can help this customer. If you learn in a discovery call that you can't help them, you want to point them in another direction and move on and disqualify the opportunity. But I put this in here, then I've got a note section and immediate next step. So that's my template. So I've asked ChatGPT with this call transcript to format it into my template. And let me get there. And here it's done it for me. Now you want to check the work, of course, but it's dropped in the information, summary, identified problems and impacts, right? And this is, did you get problems in impact? Then we get into the MEDDICC qualification. So it's taking all of what was learned on that call and dropping it into this nice template, which your manager or other folks on your team might appreciate. Mutual action plan, overall notes, immediate next steps. So now I've got a recap that, again, I can just go and copy and paste into my template here. Now, the next step, right? One thing I like to do, or it's one thing I recommend to all reps, is following that meeting that you send a very clear recap meeting that documents the problems and the impacts and the next steps and any other pieces of information. So I have a template for that as well. And here's that email template. These things are linked below in the post. But a simple template, recap and next steps. Again, you can personalize all this, but this is a good general template. Overview of the discussion, what I heard, problems, consequence. You'd like to have a solution in place by, you might not get this information, but these are also good ways to sort of check your thinking. Like a discovery call, very simply, should have these main buckets covered. Might not get to when they want a solution in place, but these are helping you focus on the right things. Did I miss anything? Next steps, etc. So what you can do next is you can go into ChatGPT and you could say, thanks, now provide a recap email I can send to the client in the format attached. And as you can see, it's done that for me. Again, you'll want to look at everything, proof everything, and maybe edit slightly, but pretty good stuff here. This is it. Now, this was a good discovery call for the rep and got all of these pieces of information. So now I've got that. So that is going to help you document what you learned on that call and also understand if you hit the main categories and with 100% certainty. If you forgot, it's going to save you a lot of extra work too. Now, a little bonus tip here is one thing that I really like to include or I encourage reps to include with their managers or ask managers to ask is I'll say, going back to the transcript of the call, please provide direct quotes of the customer stating the impacts of not fixing the problems. Now, I think it's really important, and these are things that you can put right into your CRM or that you can put into that notes document, but it's important that the customer has said these things, right? I don't want you as reps to infer, imply, hope that these are things, that you figured out from the discussion. You want the customer to say these things out loud. So you're looking for quotes. We went to our developers with our sort of wish list and it came back with a huge price figure. Difficulty in tracking evaluation reports and generating impacts. After they've spent the money, they do their reports, and if they don't sign off on all of them themselves, then we can't see them. So this is going to save you some time on getting like the words that the customer said. A lot of VPs of sales, when they're looking at opportunities, don't trust or shouldn't trust that you say, hey, these are the problems and the consequences. The customer needs to say them out loud. And that's part of your ability to relate, asking those questions on the call. So the bonus here is that if you can't get direct quotes you know this yourself, or ChatGPT tells you that they didn't explicitly say any impacts, then it doesn't mean the impacts are not real, but it doesn't mean they're real either. So the bonus here is that don't forget to ask the question in the discovery call of something like, what happens if you don't fix this by next year? What happens if you do? You can go positive or negative. You're looking for the customer to say something significant. If we don't fix this, we're not going to be compliant. We're at risk of being sued. We're not going to meet our annual revenue goals. I'm certain of it. You're looking for that kind of statement to come out of the customer's mouth. And when they say that, you now know that, hey, they're serious too. They know the consequence. So make sure the customer's saying. You can use ChatGPT or other AI to pull those quotes for you, so then you can document them in your CRM and also feel good that you got to an impact. Hope this helps.